2026, if you aren't making video, you're invisible. But most brands are still doing it wrong. Hi, I'm Rowan from Southpoint Films. It's a new year! And if you're anything like me, I'm sure you've used the brief pause that comes with the holidays to get some much needed strategy and planning work done. I know I certainly have. In my case, I've been thinking a lot about marketing, especially how in-house marketing teams and marketing agencies should be using video this year as part of their internal and client marketing strategies. I have some thoughts. If video or content marketing is on your radar for the year, which in 2026 it absolutely should be, this video is for you. Get your notepad and pen at the ready because you might want to take some notes. Where does video fit into a modern marketing strategy? Let's start with a quick state of play of where video fits into the modern marketing strategy. I've been running a B2B video production company for over 12 years now. And in the early days, it often felt like I was banging my head against the wall trying to convince local business owners that there were benefits to using video for business comms full stop. Bearing in mind that in 2013, the idea of having so much as a website seemed new and modern to a lot of people. Today, video is everywhere, and arguably, it's everything. YouTube and TikTok are video only, Instagram is overwhelmingly video focused, even our professional safe haven, LinkedIn, has come leaps and bounds to support video in recent years, moving to become a mobile-friendly, portrait-first video platform in mid-2024. There's no debate about whether or not you should be making videos anymore. Video is simply an entry requirement in 2026. Making videos is the baseline. So if you're not making video content, you're increasingly not in the picture. No pun intended. As for what sort of content you should be making and how you should go about making it, that's where there's a bit more room for ambiguity. For me, there are a handful of content types that I think are worth investing in, and we'll go through some of those now. Evergreen content. The first category of video content that I would encourage every business to think about is your evergreen content. I think this sort of content can sometimes get overlooked in favour of chasing social media trends or trying to be visible in the algorithms. But this evergreen content, while not necessarily trendy, has the longest shelf life and won't go out of date quickly. And it's a really important pillar for any marketing team. Examples of evergreen content would be your company overview video that sits on your website homepage, customer testimonial and case study videos that you can use throughout the funnel, and other video content like product promos and tutorials or customer support videos which support the rest of your Marcom efforts throughout the business. These sorts of videos change as quickly as your business does, so for most businesses, you can measure the life of these types of videos in years, and that's a pretty good investment as far as marketing collateral goes. For example, I found that most companies don't need to update their company overview video more than once every 3 to 5 years. It might need a few tweaks here and there, sure, but it's rarely a major overhaul. And case study videos are relevant for as long as the featured project or client is something that you tell people about. This will, again, vary by business, but if you make a case study video about one of your products when it first comes out, and that product is on the market for 5 years, that case study video has a 5-year shelf life. Truthfully, we have some case study videos of our own on our website, which are over 5 years old, but they're still relevant enough and look modern enough that we can get away with still using them, as much as I want to update them for fundamentally vanity reasons. Which brings me on to how you should go about producing these videos. And although I'm biased, these are absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, the sorts of videos that you'll want to get professionals like us to make for you. They last a long time, so I think they're worth the investment. I appreciate that some businesses and agencies have in-house video production resources, but I would still say that it's best to outsource these ones to a proper production company, unless you're effectively running a production company internally using the same caliber of equipment and skill. The reason our old case study videos are still looking good on our website over 5 years later is because we produced them to a standard that was the best at the time. And without wanting to sound big-headed, because we were 5 years ahead of everyone else back then, they've lasted. There are still plenty of people out there catching up to that standard today. So yeah, this is the stuff to invest in. As the saying goes, buy cheap, buy twice. Alternatively, do it once, get it done properly. The second category of content is your firehose content. This is the stuff that gets blasted out and often quickly disappears into the void. The shelf life of some of this content is relatively short. For a campaign, it might run for a month or two. For social content, sometimes the shelf life can be measured in hours, especially if it's ephemeral like an Instagram story. Examples of this sort of content include behind-the-scenes clips of your team in action, fun little videos around your office, as well as campaign videos and content marketing like podcasts and thought leadership pieces. For the super ephemeral content like Instagram stories, this should be produced as cheaply as possible. Honestly, there's nothing wrong with getting your phone out and recording this stuff yourself. A quick video clip showing your setup at a trade show, your team working in the office, just film it however you can. There are agencies that specialise in creating this sort of content for you. We're not one of them. But they can help you make a strategy around this more organic, user-generated feeling content, while some will execute it for you as well. I actually think there's a tremendous amount of value in creating a UGC or EGC, employee-generated content strategy, that encourages your staff to submit these sorts of photos and video clips for you to use on social media. If you look at our own social channels, you'll see loads of behind-the-scenes photos that our team have taken on location, and it works really well. So how does your team currently do with submitting UGC and EGC content? Let me know in the comments. As for the other types of Firehose content, things are a bit less black and white. This may be controversial, but I would categorise a video podcast as Firehose content. While the actual podcast itself is a long-term asset, the individual episodes are usually only relevant for a short period of time, and you can only really use episode-specific assets for marketing while that episode is fresh. The same goes for campaign content, like a series of videos promoting your attendance at a trade show or videos announcing a new product or service. The content that has campaign-specific messaging is only relevant while the campaign is running, so I'd put this in the short shelf life category. Personally, I think the quality of this content needs to reflect your business and the importance of whatever it is you're promoting. For example, if you just want a quick video to let people know you're attending a local business show and the event's not really that important to your bottom line, just record something quick and cheap on your phone. But if you're attending a major trade show where you're launching your next generation of products and you absolutely need all of your customers to visit you so that they can put pre-orders in, it's definitely worth spending the money on getting some professional content made. After all, when you work with a team like ours, you're paying for quality, which leads to impact and brand perception. Despite being a technical services provider, we also bring our knowledge of what works for clients across a wide range of industries, and we offer that helping hand that will guide you away from making common mistakes and helping your campaign be a success. Of course, professional video production comes at a cost, and it can be difficult to justify that expense for content that's not going to last a long time, especially when you're juggling a whole multitude of priorities across your entire spectrum of marketing. But there are ways you can stretch your budget further. These methods aren't just for Firehose content, you can use them for your evergreen content too. The first one is bulk filming. One of the smartest things any marketing team can do is to film content in bulk. By this I mean booking a video production team like ours for a day and getting as much material out of that time as possible. We do this all the time for our clients, and we can even help plan shoots for this purpose. For example, we have a few video podcast clients who will book out a studio for a day or two and then record 4 to 6 episodes a day. That's a ton of output that will keep that podcast running for months, especially since the episodes can be scheduled for release over time. It takes so much pressure off fueling the content pipeline, and it's also cheaper. Of course, bulk filming isn't just for video podcasts, it's for any type of video content, anything that can be filmed in some quantity in one go. Product tutorials, customer testimonials, thought leadership pieces, the list goes on. A great place to do bulk filming is at events. I haven't really touched on how to use video at events in this video. I'm working on a separate video for that, so follow or subscribe to us if you want to see that when it comes out. Don't forget to ring the bell. But the great thing about events is that they bring important people together. For example, a trade show. In my experience, your stand will be staffed with all of your key leadership, sales and product people, and it's a great opportunity to pull them aside to record some of that Firehose content, interviews, product demos, business updates and all the rest. It's also likely that the show floor will be full of your customers who you can pull aside to record a quick testimonial video with. And if you're feeling super savvy and you're running a company podcast, you could even book a space somewhere nearby and set up a studio where your host could interview all of your key staff and industry leaders who are in the area. A few days of recording could give you months of content. We attend corporate events all the time to capture video in bulk like this. And we also make some pretty awesome highlight videos that make our clients look amazing when sent out in the post-show comms. So it's a golden opportunity for content capture. Repurposing content. Speaking of getting more value out of your video content, a big trend right now is repurposing video content across different channels. And we're seeing more of our clients asking for their longer form videos to be chopped up into smaller chunks for different platforms and purposes. Using the video podcast example, one episode could become 10 different reels for social media. These clips pad out the content calendar and provide more entry points for viewers to find your longer form content. This is most evident on YouTube Shorts, which serves as a fantastic gateway to your longer form content on your main channel. Repurposing video content is also something we're doing a lot for promotional material too. For example, we work with a large dental supplier, and we recently filmed a case study at one of their customer sites. The case study video was undeniably the main output, but we were also able to produce individual videos for a bunch of different products which were being used in the dental practice. So some of these videos were packaged up with bits of relevant testimonial footage to create more evergreen content, and others were simple reels focused on specific products, which could then be pumped out through the fire hose. It all pads out the content calendar. And let's just talk about budget. Let's say the budget for that project was around £2,000. Instead of getting one video for that price, we're producing 4 to 6 videos, reducing the cost per output to around 350 quid. And that's insanely good value for professionally filmed and edited video content. So if budget is one of your concerns, you can see how quickly a seemingly expensive video shoot can become a very cost-effective content production exercise, at least if planned well. And that's the key thing. You need to make sure you're thinking about this up front before you're on site with your video team. That said, if you choose to work with us, we can help you with planning these sorts of shoots for maximum impact. Before I wrap up, there's one last thing I want to touch on, and that's AI. We're going to be releasing a video specifically on this topic soon, talking about how we feel about it, what we're using it for, and how we think we'll be integrating it into our future workflows. At the moment, it's very tempting to get swept up by the marketing and hype around the technologies that fall under the AI umbrella. And since I'm speaking to marketers, I know that you've been spending time thinking about how you can use these technologies in your own workflows. When it comes to video, I'll be honest, and I'll say that I've yet to knowingly see any AI-generated video content in the wild that's helped the brand that's used it. I've seen some interesting ideas and concepts for sure, but most of the AI content I've knowingly seen has felt more like a draft or proof of concept for what the finished result might look like once it's been made properly. We'll have more to come on this topic in due course, but in the short term, I don't particularly encourage marketers to rush out into AI video generation just yet. And this isn't coming from a place of fear. I'm actually really excited by some of the AI technologies I've seen. I'm just speaking more from a place of understanding that AI isn't a slot machine for cheap, high-quality content. If you try to use it that way, you're going to fail. Creating high-quality AI content takes just as much effort, if not more, than filming it for real. I've seen some really good AI content, and I know how hard it is to get right. Also, as more brands start using low-quality AI content in their marketing, being authentic and genuine is going to become a brand differentiator. I think marketers who lean into authenticity will do better long-term than those who throw their brand under the bus with AI slop. That's my opinion anyway. With that, those are my thoughts on how to use video within your marketing strategy this year. And I could honestly spend hours talking about this stuff. In fact, why don't we? I love speaking with marketers who are looking to use video as a marketing tool for their business or clients. And if you think a chat would be useful, let's talk. You can reach me by emailing info@southpointfilms.com. Just let me know that you watched this video. Otherwise, I'd love to hear your thoughts on video marketing and the topics I've discussed down in the comments. Also, if you want more content like this, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so that you get notified when we upload a new video. I'll see you next time.